Howdy friends, music lovers, welcome to another episode of the Vinyl Survivor. Welcome to a new year. I need to start getting back into the swing of things, doing more of these Vinyl Survivor videos. I've been listening to a lot of music lately, a lot of new music, and I wanted to share it all with you and tell you what I thought of it all. That's what this series is about. Take music out of my inbox or new purchases and clean them up, listen to them, and let you know what I think of. So this is all sort of new music to my ears for the most part, experiencing these things for the first time. So I'm going to kind of give you a bit of background on each one and give you an idea of what I thought of each one and whether I think it's something that you should check out or not. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first album we have is the debut album from Depeche Mode titled Speak and Spell from 1981. Released on Sire Records, or Mute Sire Records, Mute in the UK and Sire in the US. This is my copy I actually got this out of a collection that was given, I guess you could say it was given to me. A person wanted some things digitized out of their collection, so I did that for them in trade for their collection. So picked this up out of there. As you see, a lot of their stuff was water damaged. Vinyl themselves were in good shape. This is an interesting Depeche Mode album. As I said, it's their debut album. This is the only album that features Vince Clarke. He went on to form Erasure later on, but this is a very different sound than I am personally used to for Depeche Mode for the most part. You know, the Depeche Mode I know came later on in the 80s, a much more darker sound to it. And this one is a little bit more upbeat, a bit more early new wave sounding, a little bit Devo-ish sounding, I could say. The hit song on here is Just Can't Get Enough, and that kind of gives you an idea of what the rest of the album sounds like. A little bit tighter, a little bit brighter, not so much of a sort of a big, dark, brooding sound. It's more of a dancey, very early synthy sort of sound to it. But a good album. Enjoyed being able to listen to this full album by itself. Hadn't really listened to it before. You know, I've heard Just Can't Get Enough plenty of times before, but hadn't heard the album. So as I said, this is on Sire Records. No other interesting things in the dead wax there. Yeah, Depeche Mode's debut album. It's a keeper in my book. I like it. I enjoyed it. It's a very different Depeche Mode album, but it kind of gives you an idea of where they started from, and if you like, if you're not so much into the darker stuff that they did later on, then maybe you'll like this. It's more of an earlier traditional new wave kind of sound to it. But a good album. Okay, next up, changing gears here a little bit, we have the third album from Led Zeppelin, titled Led Zeppelin 3. And this is a copy I picked up in a thrift store somewhere, I'm sure. It's really, really rough shape throughout. Does still have the spinning wheel. It's still attached on the cover there. But overall, this album is in pretty rough shape. It is an 1841 Broadway. It's a fairly early pressing. It has a Mastercraft PR in the dead wax. I believe that's Paul Rogers did the mastering on this. And an interesting thing about this is it has the inscription "So Mote Be It" on both sides of this record. Some of them had "So Mote Be It" and "Do Thou Wilt," I think is what was on the other side. But this, for some reason, this one says "So Mote Be It" on both sides, and Mastercraft PR on both sides. So kind of an interesting pressing, but this does has some skips on it and very deep scratches on here. It's basically it's a piece of junk. So this is not going to be staying in my collection. I would love to have this album. I mean, Led Zeppelin 3 is an incredible album, one of my favorites probably of theirs. Really good stuff. You know, not much needs to be said about Led Zeppelin. If you like Led Zeppelin, you know them pretty well, and you've probably explored their catalog. And I have it all on CD, but unfortunately, this is not a keeper. It's just really not listenable. I have high hopes they're going to be reissuing all the Led Zeppelin catalog on vinyl this year. I have high hopes it's going to be done right, you know, done well with good quality analog repressings. I have a feeling it's not going to be done right. It's going to be, you know, digital, low quality digital mastering like they did on the Beatles albums, but I have hopes. Maybe it'll be done right, so maybe I can have one of these in the collection. Yeah, as far as finding a good original of this, I'm not going to pay the price that people want for it. It's not worth that much to me to have. But a great Led Zeppelin album, a good place to start, I would say, if you're just getting into Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin 3 is really great. One of their best albums as far as I'm concerned. So unfortunately, that one's not going in the collection. Alright, next thing I want to talk about is something Laura Carr here in the VC turned me onto. She had this playing in the background of one of her videos, and it just got stuck in my ear and I couldn't get it out. So I had to go back to the video and Shazam it and find out what it was, as I had no clue what it was. So that's the artist Sbtrkt with their single Wildfire. Sbtrkt is, I guess you could call it a dubstep sort of sound to it. Not typically what I listen to. I'm not really a fan of dubstep in general, but for some reason this song just has the right kind of notes for me, and just the right kind of sound for me, that it grabbed me. And like I said, I had to go back to the video and find out what it was. So went on Amazon and found this 12-inch single for, I don't know, it was $4 or $5. It was pretty cheap to pick this up, so I went ahead and ordered it just so I could have it in my collection, have sort of a physical representation of this song in my collection. And I really like this song. I downloaded the rest of the album and it was just okay. You know, I'm definitely into this song. So thanks, Laura, for turning me on to that. And this is just plain black vinyl, black label. You know, pretty generic. 45 RPM, 12-inch single. It has a original, an instrumental, and then a remix featuring Drake, which I'm not a fan of Drake, so I don't care to listen to that either. This does have WG/NRP in the dead wax. I believe that's Nashville Record Pressing. I believe it's a record pressing. I don't know who WG is. So yeah, that's Wildfire by Sbtrkt, 12-inch single. If you like dubstep, maybe check it out. If not, it's, you know, you're probably not missing much, but it's just an earworm that I had to pick up. Okay, the next thing I have to talk about is the 2013 release from the dream pop band, I guess you could call them, Washed Out. This is entitled Paracosm. Make sure I got that right. And if you remember, this was not actually featured in my Best of 2013 video. I was not that impressed with this album in general. It's just sort of okay. It didn't grab me as much as their previous album, Within and Without. This is on Sub Pop Records, and I don't know if this is going to show up or not, but this is an embossed cover. Maybe you can catch it there with the light hitting it some. But the flowers here are embossed, and the shrink wrap had a sticker on it that said Paracosm. It's actually inside the pack. Here's the inner sleeve. The lyrics. Here's the sticker that was on the front cover that says Paracosm on it. So just keep that inside the packaging, just to keep it complete. And also got a download code as well, so that's nice. You know, Sub Pop pretty much always has download codes with their pressing, with their releases. And Washed Out is sort of one of those dream pop sort of bands, synth pop sort of sounds, very ethereal, very dreamy, I guess. Is, you know, it's called dream pop for a reason. This one is on a sort of purple, pinkish, reddish, purplish marbled vinyl. I'm trouble getting the light to shine through here, but you can kind of see it there at the top. Very pretty piece of vinyl, very floral, with the, you know, fits well with the album artwork. But yeah, as I said, I wasn't that musically. I wasn't that impressed with this one. The music is just okay. It just didn't grab me in the way that Within and Without grabbed me, and this one it's just okay. If you want to get into Washed Out, check out Within and Without. Definitely a better album in my opinion. But this one is going to be a keeper in my collection just because I bought it new, and there's no sense in me getting rid of it because I won't be able to get my money back on it. It's mastered by J Lambert at JLM, J Lambert Mastering. And as always, Sub Pop does a really good job with modern vinyl in my opinion. I'm always very happy with sound quality and everything, so No worries there. So that's Washed Out with Paracosm from 2013. Going in my collection, but not highly recommended. Okay, and the final album we have to talk about today is another synth pop album from the early 80s. So we started off with one from the early 80s, and we're going to end on one. This is Neuromantic by Yukihiro Takahashi, Japanese synth pop sort of artist. He was part of the band Yellow Magic Orchestra. He's a percussionist mainly. He also does vocals and a bit of synthesizer work as well. But this is a very synth-heavy, synth-pop sounding album with very traditional Japanese sort of influences to it. Almost classical Japanese influences. Very, very interesting. This is something that Derek played in a video one day, and it really caught my ear, and I decided to put this on my wish list, and I ended up buying this at some point last year, and I just really dig it and really enjoy this sort of Japanese take on synth pop, and it has a very lush instrumental classical sort of sound to it mixed with the synthesizer work, and it's really good, and I really enjoyed listening to this. Some tracks can sound pretty dated, I guess I can't find a better word than just a little bit cheesy, but for the most part, it's really good synth pop music. And this was released on Alpha Records here in the U.S. It has J.S. Kendun in the dead wax. So that's Kent Duncan mastering. I don't know who J.S. is. And this also comes with a booklet that has some artwork and lyrics and whatnot in it. Go ahead and open this up the rest of the way. Give you an idea of that. So that was a really nice additional piece, and not something you see often, particularly in 80s vinyl. But yeah, a good Japanese synth pop album. So that's Neuromantic by Yukihiro Takahashi of the Yellow Magic Orchestra. So those are five new albums for the Survivor series. 4 made it, 1 didn't. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more episodes. I release these every so often, and hope you stick around for my other vinyl videos and beer reviews and anything else I feel like talking about. So thanks again for watching. See you again soon. Cheers.